The Puck Portfolio with Andy MacNeil.
Hey, welcome to the Puck Portfolio. Happy Black Friday. If you're first time joining us here, this show is sponsored by NorthStar Bets. I'll be using NorthStar Bets odds on this show. They offer early odds on the next day's NHL games, which we really appreciate here on the Puck Portfolio. I'm Andy MacNeil, the host. I'm here each day, weekdays, to provide NHL projections, betting advice, and strategies to help you make informed bets throughout the NHL season. And thank you all for joining me here on the Puck Portfolio today. I would really appreciate it if you guys shared the link to the show with your friends on Twitter, etc. Help get the word out there because it is it's been a good run here. It's been a good run. We've had a profitable run on the Puck Portfolio. We're getting good value most days, especially on Thursday for Friday's games. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, we've got lots of hockey to get to here. It's been a weird week in the NHL with only games on Monday, Wednesday, and now Friday. No games on Tuesday and Thursday. So we got 28 games to look at over the next 3 days. I'm not going to get to Sunday's games on today's show. I might touch on them over the weekend if I have time. Busy weekend in the MacNeil household. Got to get ready for Christmas, all that stuff. I'm sure you guys understand. But anyway, the schedule breakdown. It is a lengthy one. We don't have any teams playing tired necessarily today because they've all had that day off on Thursday. But we're gonna have some tired teams on Saturday though, and of course on Sunday. So we've got a lot of hockey to get to. We're gonna get into the projections here right away, but some news to get to right away because, like I said, it was going to be hard to price some of these games here. With so many teams playing back to back, it can get tough. So now we've got some news coming out on the Twitterverse here. Jake Ottinger expected to start Friday versus Calgary. Kind of expected. He's 8-3-2 this season. Vezina Trophy favorite. So not a surprise there with the Flames coming to town. As I mentioned on Thursday's show, the Flames haven't beaten anybody of note this season. It's pretty depressing. I mean, they haven't had a win against an impressive opponent in I don't know how long. They beat the Jets on opening night, got a win over the Vancouver Canucks, who were on the second half of a back-to-back playing their backup goaltender. But other than that, their wins have come against a bunch of weak teams, and the Stars have already beaten them this season. But it was a tight game, like it usually is, dating back a few years now. This matchup has always been played pretty tightly. Corey Perry, he's not going to be in the lineup today versus the Toronto Maple Leafs for the Chicago Blackhawks. Seems like a weird situation there. We know Taylor Hall. We learned yesterday that Taylor Hall is going to miss the entire season. Super unfortunate for him and the Blackhawks and Connor Bedard, but Corey Perry, he's not going to be in the lineup today versus Toronto. And it seems like I said, a weird situation, maybe violated a team rule or something like that. Luke Richardson said that it was going to stay in-house. So not really sure what's going on there. Sergei Bobrovsky looks like he's going to start Friday versus Winnipeg. And of course, Alexander Barkov is drawing back into the Panthers lineup, after missing 2 games. He was skating, so I expected him to be in. My projection has the Florida Panthers sitting at minus 133, a 57% chance of winning today's game. And yeah, that's with Barkov in the lineup. That's what I had yesterday. So while the Jets may have looked like a good play if Barkov was not in the lineup, that's not the case. He is in the lineup. So something to note there for sure. But yeah, Sergei Bobrovsky in the goal for the Florida Panthers. Barkov back in the lineup, skating on the top line. We've got Philip Gustafsson. He's going to start for the Wild versus Colorado. He's been really bad this season, minus 6.6 goals saved above expected. I've got a small play on the Avalanche, and you can still get the Avalanche. Let me just pull that up here. You can still get the Avalanche. It was a half unit play to win a half a unit at minus 135, and you can get the Avalanche at an even better price now. So I'm going to talk a little bit later about why that's not necessarily a great thing that it's at a better price now. But you can get the Avs here at anywhere from minus 130 all the way down to minus 125, it looks like, at some shops. So it's the Avalanche for me. the Wild have been struggling for a while, and I think I just said the Wild had been struggling for a while. And Philip Gustafson, he's been struggling all season, was kind of an unknown heading into last season, came out and had a great season. That hasn't been the case in 2023-24. So yeah, Colorado Avalanche, I've got them locked in for minus 135. You can get a better price now, but it's still just a small play. I don't really like them anymore because of this, hesitation from the market to agree with me here. I do factor that into my projections, at least arbitrarily most days. I like to give you the raw product here is what you see on the screen, but I'm not going to increase my bet on the Avalanche. Just good with that half unit play. And yeah, so elsewhere, it looks like Alex Nedeljkovic, he's going to start for the Penguins. That was expected. So the line that you see on the screen there, Pittsburgh minus 121, that's my projection. The model thinks the Penguins win this one 55% of the time. And that was with Nedeljkovic in. Of course, the Penguins playing back to back here, so I expected Tristan Jarry would be in goal against the Maple Leafs on Saturday, and that looks like it's going to be the case. So Nedeljkovic, he's 2-1 so far this season. He's got one shutout and a 944 save percentage, 2 goals saved above expected. Not bad, but definitely not as good as Jari in the long term. Nedeljkovic, he's had an up and down career. First had a good season in Carolina, went to Detroit. Things didn't really work out good for him there. So I'm not super high on him by any means. Definitely not high on him, but I'm high enough on him to bet the Penguins at the price that we got yesterday, minus 105. The Penguins now, if you look at NorthStar Bets, they're up to minus 119. Most places minus 120, minus 115 even. Not really a good bet there at minus 120, obviously. A little bit of value at minus 115. But if you watch the show on Thursday, you got a great price on the Penguins here at minus 105. That was a 1 unit play. And yeah, that is something I am very happy about. It looks like Simeon Varlamov will start for the New York Islanders against excuse me, against the Ottawa Senators, who have a little bit of goaltending trouble of their own going on here with um, Jonas Corposalo battling injuries, and they had to call up Matthias Sogard, and it looks like Anton Forsberg will get the start versus the Islanders. He struggled this season, and probably Sogard tomorrow when the Sens host. Are they hosting somebody? Or no? I have it wrong here, I think. I don't know where they are. They even playing tomorrow? I don't know. There's so much hockey here. My brain is failing me. But yeah, looks like Anton Forsberg versus Simeon Varlamov. We know the Islanders. The Islanders are playing tomorrow. They're playing the Flyers again. But it looks like it'll be Carter Hart versus Igor Shesterkin for the Rangers in the Flyers game early today. So that means it's probably going to be Samuel Urson, or in all likelihood, be Samuel Urson versus Ilya Sorokin tomorrow for the Islanders and Philly. And I'm glad that I already expected that, because I updated my price here. Would have been recommending a bet on the Flyers probably at the current odds if there was a chance that it would have been Carter Hart, i.e. if Samuel Urson got the start today, but that's not the case. So he'll probably start tomorrow. And yeah, nothing on this Rangers and Philly game here with Hart and Igor starting. There was a little bit of a line movement overnight towards the Flyers, so no value left there. And yeah, Carter Hart will start Friday afternoon versus the Rangers. He's had a pretty good season so far. Not great relative to his the expected goals, I guess, but overall pretty good. Has been good for the Flyers. And yeah, Igor Shesterkin will start on Friday for the Rangers. That's according to a Rangers reporter here on Twitter. Antti Ranta, he left Wednesday's game for the Carolina Hurricanes, but he was in the starters crease this morning. Looks like he'll be starting versus Tampa Bay. We still don't know who the Lightning are going to start here. Like I said, Tampa Bay has stated that here it is, Andre Vasilevsky in the starters crease. Let's add the Lightning right now. Looks like he could make the season debut tonight for the Tampa Bay Lightning. I told you that was a big difference here. The Lightning plus 125 on the money line. So I've got to lock this in right now. Man, I'm kind of scrambling here because there are some good prices out here. Um, all right, NorthStar Bets plus 145. Let's lock in the Tampa Bay Lightning for 1 unit to win 1.45 units. Keep in mind they got shut out the last time they played the Carolina Hurricanes too, so a good revenge spot here for the Lightning. Hopefully this means Vasilevsky's starting. Otherwise, I just made a terrible bet. But anyway, yeah, that's a terrible bet because I do have the Carolina Hurricanes, as you can see on the screen there, minus 155. So a minus EV bet if it's not Vasilevsky in the starters crease for the Lightning. This is why I wanted to do a live show. This is fun getting to add bets on the fly here like this. Andre Vasilevsky, though, big difference maker. So at plus 145, I think there's about 20 cents of value here because I think the line should be plus 125. So let's see where this one moves. Let's see if my line prediction is on point today, but I anticipate this one will close around plus 125 in favor of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Look, if you're getting a great price on the Lightning right now, which you probably are, and this works out, I mean, look, another reason to share the show with your friends. You don't have to watch Twitter. I'll do it for you. I'll relay the news for you every day, and that's what we're doing here today. Andre Vasilevsky looks like he's going to make his season debut. Of course, he had back surgery, missed the start of the season. Yeah, big news here for the Lightning and for hockey bettors, right? Because this changes everything. But this is the time when you want to jump on it, right? When the market was not expecting Vasilevsky to be in goal. Of course, I said the Lightning had that back-to-back set coming up here against the Avs and the Coyotes. Maybe he had there was some speculation out there that he probably would start one of those two games, not this game. But no, it looks like he might start this game versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. So yeah, hit that like button. Hit subscribe if you have not already. It helps out a ton. I know I've been kind of forgetting to tell you guys that to remind you, but yeah, hit that like button, hit subscribe, tell your friends about it. This is a fun show that more people should be tuning into, right? We gotta increase the mob. And what I'm talking about, if you've ever read the book Logic of Sports Betting, I admittedly have never read the book front to back because I mean I think a lot of it is kind of redundant for somebody who's been doing this as long as I have. But I like to pick through it every once in a while, get a different perspective. I saw Ed Miller, actually the author of one of the authors of the Logic of Sports Betting, tweeting out this morning that they've got a new bet called Interception, talking about the world of modern sports betting. Probably super interesting and insightful, and I'll probably pick that up at some point. And but I would definitely recommend that if you guys are just getting started out in the sports betting space, to read this book, The Logic of Sports Betting. One thing that I love about it is this analogy that he uses. Ed Miller, I'm guessing. Seems like a lot of the stuff comes from him. Matthew Davidoff is the other author, but Ed Miller has published a lot of books in the gambling space about poker, now about sports betting, and always a good read. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that sports betting markets, they're a lot like Black Friday. And if you think about how Black Friday works, people line up outside the store at 6 a.m. because some big retailer said that they were going to have their Black Friday sale, and they know that they can get a 65-inch TV for 99 bucks or whatever, right? And people are like, why would you do that? Why? That's crazy. Why would you be so frugal to get that? Because they know that they're going to get the best deal. And even the people that come an hour later, they're not going to get the best deal because there were only 2 dozen of those 65-inch TVs that they're selling for 99 bucks. When they restock the TVs on the floor after those are all sold, they're going back to the regular price, or a worse sale price, let's just say. And you're not going to get a deal, right? You're basically going to buy things kind of as a bit of a, if you're getting a deal, it's probably not going to be a deal at all. So that's kind of how sports betting markets work, right? Like a mob. We're trying to be the mob here for the hockey betting market. That's what I'm kind of trying to let you guys, get a head start on everything. Have some opinions to work with early when opening markets, when markets just open up, so that you can get the best chance to get some value down, because the good bets are not going to last. These lines get picked over. You look at where we are right now with the picks here. I'm just gonna cycle through them really quick to see where our closing line value is. And okay, so we bet the Predators at plus 116 yesterday. They're minus 110 now. That's 6.1% closing line or line value. We bet the Edmonton Oilers at minus 110. They're a minus 132 favorite now. That's 4.5% line value. The Blue Jackets, they're a bet that I didn't talk about yet today. This one didn't move in my favor. So it was a small bet, half unit play at 2-1 plus 200 odds to beat the New Jersey Devils straight up on the money line. This one has not moved in my favor. Still sitting out there. You can get a better price. Wouldn't increase my bet size here because obviously the market is telling me it's not a great bet. Everybody had a chance to bet this. They didn't. They chose to bet the Devils. So, I mean, you can say what you want about the public, the betting public, but the wisdom of the crowd. I mean, it doesn't lie. It rules. People are not stupid, and I don't take their opinions lightly by any means. It doesn't really make me think like, oh man, I'm going to lose my bet. But the Blue Jackets at plus 200, clearly not a great bet. If it was, it wouldn't still be here 24 hours later, right? That's how this works. We bet the Kings at minus 167 on Friday's show or Thursday's show. Minus 200 now, 4.2% line value. That's what I'm talking about. We bet the Pens at minus 105, 3.1% line value now at minus 119. And now we bet the Lightning plus 145. We'll have to wait and see where that one goes. Hopefully it is Vasilevsky here. And the Avalanche, like I mentioned, a minus 137 actually was the price from yesterday. A little bit of closing line value if you're just judging it versus the NorthStar bets price. But if you look around the market at other sports books, there are better prices out there. So, clearly not a good bet. So not bad though. 6 bets, 4 of them really good bets, 2 of them not so good bets. And luckily, the 2 bets that are, objectively not good bets were only small half unit plays. So I didn't overreach there. So I'm feeling good about that. But now I've got 7 bets locked in for Friday. And yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So yeah, Evan in the chat says, "Did you say Vasilevsky is back?" And thankfully, Jake here, producer Jake, got back to him, and yeah, not confirmed, but he's in the starters crease. He's getting reps. That's what usually happens. That could be a swerve. Maybe they save him for the back-to-back set. But hey, look, you gotta take the chance here. And what worst comes to worst, you've got a bad bet on the Lightning, but at least it's at plus 145, right? At least you're not laying a big price here on the Lightning in this situation, and you very well could be if it was, let's say, they were playing the Arizona Coyotes on the second half of a back-to-back, and we found out Vasilevsky was going to start. But the problem with that was, if that was the case, the market would already be anticipating that Vasilevsky will be the goaltender. Like if they go against Colorado on Monday and Vasilevsky still hasn't started, you look at the line for the Avs, and as soon as we find out who's starting, the line for the Avs will change probably, unless the market was anticipating Jonas Johansson. And then if they save Vasilevsky and go to the next day, it almost becomes a situation where Vasilevsky is going to start because okay, they said he was going to play one of the next 3 games. He didn't play the first 2. He has to play the third one, and if that's the case, the market will ahead of time, change the price there, and there won't be any value. So by the time that he gets announced and it says, "Oh yeah, Vasilevsky's starting today," there wouldn't be any value on that game anyway. So this is the perfect opportunity to capitalize on this news. And yeah, great price if Vasilevsky starts for sure. So anyway, we'll move on here. So I've got 7 bets locked in, just went over them all, and got some great prices. I recommend now the Tampa Bay Lightning at the plus 145 price. And I still like the Columbus Blue Jackets at 2-1 or better, and the Colorado Avalanche at minus 135 or better, preferably better, given that there is better out there now. So those would be half unit plays to play on the Lightning, though, with Vasilevsky. That's a 1 unit play to win 1.45 units. So yeah, let's move on to Saturday. And I'm going to preface this right now by telling you all that I don't love a lot. Look, I've got 7 bets on Friday. So I'm not just doing this for the sake of doing it, right? Like, I mean, I don't like a lot on Saturday's board here. I mean, you look around, and you've got some good matchups. Sure, there are some interesting matchups, and maybe some things move around here with goaltenders being confirmed for Friday, and people anticipating other goaltenders for Saturday, etc. The lines are already up here, but really, I like one bet on Saturday's board right now, and it's the LA Kings. They're a big favorite against the Montreal Canadiens. Um, of course, right? The Kings, they're the top team in expected goals percentage in the NHL year to date. And the market certainly doesn't take that lightly. If anything, I think they're a little bit too high on teams sometimes that have that great expected goals percentage like the Kings do. But the Kings back it up with a lot of other great things. Pretty well balanced team, if you ask me. So yeah, I like the LA Kings for their game. I've already bet on them to beat the Anaheim Ducks. I'm going to bet them again here to beat the Montreal Canadiens, but it's going to be a big price. And I'm going to see what we've got here now because it was minus 238 earlier. And I believe that is probably still the case. So yeah, minus 238 at NorthStar Bets on the LA Kings. Do we want to just, this is a situation where I really do like the Kings, and I can probably justify, laying the minus 1.5 goals on the puck line. But do you want to do that on the second half of a back to back? I don't know. Do the Kings just crush the Canadians tomorrow? Or is it going to be a little bit of a sleepy game? If that's the case, you're going to really hate being on the Kings at minus 238, right? But yeah, if not, if they can have a relatively easy time here versus the Anaheim Ducks, which really hasn't been the case for many teams because the Ducks just won't go away with all those comeback wins and come from behind wins. But yeah, the LA Kings over the Montreal Canadiens. I'm going to lock it in. And you can say what you want about laying a big price here, minus 238 to win one unit. But hey, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to lock it in here because there is enough value to do so according to the model. And yeah, I'll pay for it dearly if it doesn't work out. But that's my only bet for Saturday. Right now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bets for Friday. So it's going to be a fun day of hockey. 8 bets when you count in Saturday. I mean, I could see a little bit of interest here on some games throughout the weekend. Maybe a play on the Sabres on Saturday, possibly against the Devils. But that's one where the value isn't, it's not substantial by any means. And I think if you look around or if you consider some of the options, the ways that things could play out here. I mean, like, what happens if the New Jersey Devils absolutely crushed the Blue Jackets tonight and look like the team that they looked like last year? We expect that we'll probably see Nico Hischier in the lineup for the Devils on Friday, so that means he'll probably be back in the lineup again on Saturday, of course. So Hughes and Hischier back in the lineup, maybe Myers back in the lineup on Saturday too. So if that happens and the Devils start to look like they're rolling, and let's say the Sabres, which I hope happens, get absolutely crushed by the Penguins on Friday, will the market not be fickle enough to move that price around a little bit because of that? So maybe the Sabres will be a bigger dog. Looks like Devin Levi will probably be starting on Saturday because it is Ukapeka looking in on Friday. But yeah, sorry about that. But that's my new thing. Whenever I see his name, I have to sing it in the tune of "This Is How We Do It" by Montel Jordan, because it's just such a fun name to say. Anyway, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in goal for the Sabres against the Penguins on Friday. So yeah, that does it for today's episode of the Puck Portfolio. Trying to keep, I got one LOL in the chat, so at least my singing made somebody laugh. Anyway, thanks, Sean. Anyway, yeah, great show today. I'm sorry that I don't have more for Saturday. I know that's probably why a lot of you tuned in, but hopefully you got some great value on yesterday's show. Hopefully we win some bets on Friday. It'll make sweating the Kings at minus 238 a little bit easier on Saturday. That's for sure. If we have a great Friday, if we have a bad Friday, I'm gonna be really, really feeling uneasy about laying that big price on the Kings. But that's the game we play. I think there are people out there that'll say, you're crazy for laying a big price on a hockey team, and to win a game, right? And Yeah, maybe you're entitled to that opinion, but I've laid plenty of big prices in my days, and a lot of them have worked out good because I only do it when I think there's a substantial amount of value to be had. And obviously, minus 238 is a long way from minus 271, which is what the projection model says. So that's it for today. Let me quickly recap everything I've got for the next 2 days of hockey. We've got the Preds plus 116, 1 unit. Not a good bet anymore. That line is exactly where I think it should be pretty much. The Edmonton Oilers minus 110. That's a half unit play. Not a good bet anymore. If anything, I'd be looking at the Capitals. If it gets any higher, I won't hate you guys if you bet against me here on the Oilers because, if that Capitals price gets up to the plus 130 range somehow, well, yeah, it's Capitals at that point. So, also had the Blue Jackets 2-1 odds plus 200. That's a half unit play. Better prices out there. Keep it at a half unit play though, considering you got this Devils team that is committed to playing better defense. Apparently, even Brendan Smith, who probably just deserves a seat in the press box at this point. But the LA Kings minus 167, they're minus 200 now. Not a good bet anymore. The Pittsburgh Penguins minus 105 from yesterday. Not a good bet anymore because they're minus 120 everywhere. Tampa Bay Lightning, where we oh, that's already moving. Okay, we've seen a little bit of trickle down. Let's look at that. Let's update that before we get out of here because that is that's time sensitive, right? Tampa Bay, let's see what we've got out here. What are the best prices in market? So still lots of plus 145s out there for sure. Even a plus 153 at one of the big market maker books. But yeah, still a great price at NorthStar Bet plus 143. So I've locked that in, like I said, just a few minutes ago at plus 145. It's already started to tick down. And that is only that's just a guessing game right now. We're just going on the information that we have that says Andre Vasilevsky was in the starters crease. That doesn't mean he will start for sure, but it's usually a good indication. Sometimes not a great one, but hopefully it will work out in our favor today. The next bet, the Colorado Avalanche minus 135. Oh, I did bet at that minus 135. Now it's minus 137 at NorthStar Bets. You can get minus 130, so shop around for sure on that one. That's a half unit play. And then finally, for Saturday, the only bet that I've got locked in right now, it's the Kings at minus 238. That's 2.38 units to win 1 unit. I know some of you guys won't like that. You'll want to opt for the regulation play, the puck line play. Go for it. Be my guest. I think the money line, straight up, overtime included. That's the best bet here for the LA Kings. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe if you have not already. Please tell your friends about it, share it on Twitter, etc. I will see you guys on Monday, maybe talk to you throughout the weekend. Have a great weekend. Good luck with your bets.